This is the show where we talk about stuff and things.
And everything is good in life.
That is the best description I've ever heard in my entire life.
Stuff and things?
Yeah, stuff and things.
Audibly, stuff and things.
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds wrong.
That should be a t-shirt.
4 people here. Marcus.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Matt.
Just Danny.
We are going to talk about an idea that just kind of floated into the air. With the new deal with Fox, obviously, and Disney, they're going to be able to obtain new characters like the Fantastic Four. So my question to you guys is, what would your idea be first, your story idea, and then plug in your actors after that, because then we can kind of envision those actors doing what your idea that you just explained. Also, if you have a director, that would be cool. I want to kind of hear your ideas for directors and storylines. So.
You didn't tell me that I needed to have a story in mind, and I totally forgot that I needed to have a director, so I'll just spitball it here for you.
Cool.
But I'm not going first.
I'll go first. That's fine. Picture it now. New York City.
Ooh.
Bombs going off.
Cliche.
Michael Bay.
I like it already.
That's the director, Michael Bay.
Yes.
No. So definitely a Joss Whedon film taking place right after, let's say, Infinity War. Let's say, everything just happened. Captain Marvel's about to be in the film, all that good stuff. And then we happen to find 4 other extra little superheroes that we might need around. And so for Ben Grimm, for The Thing, I'm thinking Nicholas Hoult, who plays Beast in the X-Men movies. I feel like you always have to have that one character who's in 2 properties, whether it be 2 Marvel movies or a DC movie.
They do it all the time.
Yeah. I'm thinking Dakota Fanning for Sue Storm.
Really?
Yeah, we're going young. We're going young.
All right. Well, she could be in the series for a long time at that rate.
That's my thought.
You replace her with her sister.
Next generation. We're in phase 4 of Marvel movies?
Yes, phase 4.
Yeah. So I'm thinking young. That way we can kind of work our way up. So I'm thinking Dakota Fanning and Sue Storm. Ansel Elgort as Reed Richards.
Who?
Oh. Yeah, a little Baby Driver.
Oh,
man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just switch up a little bit. And then Joe Keery from Stranger Things has the hair. You know what I'm talking about?
Joe Keery?
Yeah.
Billy?
Is it Billy?
Is he in Power Rangers?
No.
I don't know who Joe Keery is.
He's in season 2. He's the mom friend or whatever, basically. Like.
Yeah, Strange Things. He's the babysitter boy / boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him is Johnny Storm. I'm just.
Got you.
He's got kind of the looks. Got that long flowing hair. Just.
He had the redeeming.
He's
story.
the Andrew Garfield .2.
Yes. And then Ty Sheridan as Dr. Doom from Ready Player One. Yeah. Maybe they could be brothers.
And just for the record, just Danny's only listening because Fantastic Four has not been a big movie I grew up with. And actually, this was sprung upon me today to even come up with this thing. I didn't know I was going to be in a room full of guys talking about...
We jumped right out of the bushes, pulled him in from the streets.
Yeah.
Said, hey, man!
They offered me
Come
candy.
give us your opinion on Fantastic
collecting coins
Four.
and panhandling
They
on
offered me candy.
71st.
I said, yes, this is why you don't talk to stranger kids.
That's right. That's why we didn't talk to him. We just kidnapped him.
Right.
Put him in a room and said, talk to him.
Panhandling over by the mall.
That's right.
So, for what you guys are telling me, I'm trying to take notes as I'm doing this because you guys sprung this upon me. So,
All right. I'll go next.
Go.
Why not? So, I hadn't considered really a time and place. I do think as a director, I'd love to see the Fantastic Four be a little bit more action-packed. We've seen Fox already do it kind of like campy in 2 different ways. It'd be cool to see it be legitimately action-packed, and I think that would be the director of, the guys who did John Wick 1 and 2.
Okay.
Very action-packed, gentlemen. I'd love to see that happen. I think there'd be a lot of badassery about in that.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic, I like John Hamm.
Ooh,
I
Nice.
think would actually be good.
Yeah,
I think he'd do good for playing the serious leader of the team, but he could also be a little funny when he needs to.
Yeah.
He can pull off that great too.
Yep. Naturally, probably. Invisible Woman, I like Catherine Winnick, Largatha from Vikings. If you guys ever seen Vikings.
I have.
Think she'd be pretty cool. Human Torch, I was torn. I honestly thought either Zac Efron or Dave Franco. I like either. I think they have the...
I don't think you take it seriously.
Who?
Franco.
Well, the Zac Efron. What do you think
That
about
character, I
There's
think,
too
is
many
supposed to be
pothead
kind of...
Movies running in my head right now with James Franco.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be kind of like a...
He's
I think he's
cocky.
kind of a cocky ladies'
Yeah,
man. I think
yeah.
both of them could play that fairly well. And then The Thing, I actually liked Dan Fogler as The Thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to envision it.
It'd be interesting.
That'd
It'd
be
be a
very
little different,
interesting.
Yeah.
but
He'd be a little
I think
panache
it'd
to
be
it.
good. I think he'd have a lot of good banter between
Him and
him and Human Torch. If
yeah.
either of those gentlemen would probably have some good banter. But he shown in Fantastic Beasts that he can definitely play the heart of the group as well.
oh yeah.
So I think it'd be fitting. Doctor Doom, I actually thought Jaime Lannister, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, would actually be pretty good.
He would. Yeah.
Doctor Doom's supposed to be like a pretty vain dude. He put on the mask originally just because he had like a scratch on his face or whatever. So he'd do a good job at playing the pretty boy who ends up being a little power hungry.
Yep.
I feel that on the spiritual level.
Now in the movie Doctor Doom, is he significantly older?
I wouldn't say so.
Well, how old is your?
The
This is
original
trying to help
Fantastic?
me pick out my people. So
I'd say, in my opinion, he's approximately the age of whatever you cast as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Generally about the same age, I would think.
okay.
Although you can do whatever the hell you want.
So the first two movies, the Fantastic Four, the original ones,
Mhm.
they were in like their 30s, like the actors were. And then in this most recent reboot, everybody was
12?
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So
No, like in their early 20s.
yeah, yeah. So you can kind of
Realistically.
go any way you want to go with
Right.
it.
I'm just trying to remember the movie because I've seen it once, and I thought I didn't get a very good background story out of it.
Sure.
I thought so. Maybe a new like how they all first met each other.
Origin story?
Coincidentally, was it because they were friends, or was it just did it just get hit by an asteroid and they all just came up powered? I mean, does it make sense?
I mean, that's basically the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just
So you just redo what Fox did.
well, I don't know, like I want to know.
Yeah, like, I'd like
I would honestly
Jessica
have to
Alba as
watch
the
the movie
Invisible
again.
Woman and Detective Scroats as the Thing.
So I mean,
I also thought, last thought on my group, Doctor Doom could also be, Maz Mikkelsen would be good. Dude who played Hannibal in the TV series. Bad guy in Doctor Strange, actually, so Marvel
Yeah.
probably wouldn't
Wouldn't
be able to
be
reuse
able-
him. Well, they could, but...
if they put him just straight in the mask from the get-go, if he just did the voice, and
Yeah.
you can change his voice.
Well, he has the accent and everything already,
Yeah.
which if you're doing Doctor Doom right, you probably should have.
A Scandinavian accent.
Yeah.
So, have you guys read Hickman's comic idea on Fantastic Four?
No.
Basically, what happens in that, this is how I would actually tie it all together. It would be Phase 4 after Infinity War. Spider-Man's back, obviously, because they're coming back. Doctor Strange's coming back. They're all coming back. They all have sequels. Like, it's not a spoiler. So, basically, it's all after that. And my idea is Doctor Strange can obviously open up parallel universes. So, my idea is somehow Doctor Strange and Spider-Man end up in a parallel universe where the Fantastic Four are already established. They're already older. They're in the Baxter Building. They're a little older. They have their kids, like in the comic, because their kids are very powerful. But an idea, we have to have a new big bad. That's what Marvel likes to do. They have to have a new big bad. So a great new big bad, what I would think, is going to be Galactus.
Ooh. Okay.
And that's
Not as just played by a cloud of smoke.
Nope. No, we're going classic, sexy Galactus. But
Big ass
obviously,
purple
he's
helmet.
going to be kind of in the background. We're going to kind of hint at it. I'm thinking a trilogy, because that's what Marvel does.
Sure.
And what happens in this comic is when we meet Mr. Fantastic, when we meet Susan Storm, I think that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we storm.
Susan Storm.
Susan.
When we meet them, they're already older, but they've already been through some things. Johnny Storm has died. It would be recently. It would be almost like a year ago. They would kind of fill the team in because Spider-Man obviously has powers. This is when they kind of have Spider-Man kind of come join the team.
Spider-Man has powers?
Oh yeah.
Would have never guessed.
What?
Well, in their world, that would be new to them in their world, basically in that parallel world. That's
Whip.
Yeah. Whip.
What?
To continue, they have in the story Doctor Doom is already established as well, and he has control over Scandinavia, or is it
Lithuania?
Latveria.
Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah.
So he's already has control over that, but he's kind of hidden away. They don't bother him. He's kind of been away for a long time, but he's been communicating with Mr. Fantastic's daughter and been kind of manipulating her because she's mad at her parents because they love their son more. I know it's kind of cliche, but that it would be a fun way to kind of introduce all the characters, and it would be kind of a quick way to go. Obviously, you can delve more into it with a good writer, obviously. That would not be me.
Are you doing this in the current Marvel universe? Would Spider-Man be
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland?
Yeah, it would be Tom Holland. So I'm talking Tom Holland being part of the Fantastic Four.
Well, don't tell him about the script, or he might.
Oh, trust me, he would advertise it very well.
Free advertising right there.
But basically, what happens is in the story, Franklin Richards, young Franklin Richards, gets visited by an older version of him, and an older version of him warns him that his sister is going to betray them. Dr. Doom is coming.
Impending doom.
Yep, impending doom. Ooh,
Impending Dr. Doom. I see what you did there.
Ayo.
Ayo.
And that's kind of like how we can kind of finish the first one, and then we can kind of develop their characters, and eventually we can kind of have one big thing which happens in the comics, which is amazing, is that Franklin Richards eventually controls Galactus and makes Galactus his herald, like the Silver Surfer was for him.
Ooh.
And it's an amazing moment.
Be
But
like, you
this
my
story,
bitch now.
yeah, but it's such an amazing moment. But we can have like a 3-story arc with family and betrayal and a lot of it's a very powerful story. So the reason why I went with the family orient ones, these are the actors I picked. I picked for Mr. Fantastic, Viggo Mortensen from Lord of the Rings, Aragorn. He's a fantastic actor. He can pull off the gray already. He can pull off anything. He's been Oscar nominated 3 times, so he's a great actor. For Sue Storm, I picked Jennifer Garner. She's on a comeback. She's coming out with a new action movie, and she looks amazing in it.
She does.
And
She does.
what
Been a
Marvel
while.
likes to do is take older actors and revitalize their careers. So I think that she would be a great mom. She has, obviously she does mom.
She is a mom. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
she would be a great role in that one. Johnny Storm, spoiler alert, he would be coming back, obviously, like all superheroes do. And plus there's a flashback how they can explain how he died, because he dies very epically. He dies saving the entire universe. And that would be Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. He's a sexy man.
He's just gonna die right away.
Yeah, but he's coming back, don't
Poor
worry.
Jensen, he's wanted to be in Marvel forever.
But that's what I'm saying. He's coming back, and he comes back as a more powerful character.
Yes, I got the part. And I'm dead. Is it Supernatural? You coming back again?
Right.
Like 19 times?
Hey, with that paycheck, he'll do anything, I bet. And then for the Thing, I chose Jason Statham because I think about this.
Not the call. I was on fire.
He would be fantastic as the Thing because he has such charisma, and that's what the Thing is. In the comics, he has such charisma. He fights the Hulk to a standstill. You know what I mean? Like, he is a very strong. He's like, I'm not backing down. He stood toe to toe with The Rock and made it look awesome.
True.
So I think
He's like
that
the protector, but also like a little bit of comedy.
Yeah, and he plays
self-deprecating.
and in the comics, the Thing is he's very close with the kids, and it's a very soft side. And I think Jason Statham can actually show a soft side. I think he's a very good actor, and I think he can portray that and kind of like he can be a Drax level of love of a character. You know what I mean? And then for the 2 kids, I would want to get unknowns, just unknown kids that are trying to get a break. So I don't have any ideas for them. And then for Dr. Doom, I chose Hugh Laurie. I think he would be amazing at it.
I agree.
Really?
He can do different voices with it. He's and obviously I chose an older actor because I'm wanting to make a little older. I think that he would want to come back with Marvel. I think that would actually draw a lot of people to this movie as well if he signed on to it. And I think he would. And then obviously there's Spider-Man. Tom Holland would be in it. He would be a breath of fresh air. And that's something else that they have Far From Home, and then they can kind of wrap that into it. And I thought that Tom Holland and Doctor Strange. I thought they had some good rapport in Avengers. Like, I thought their scenes together.
It's funny that you said Hugh Laurie as Dr. Doom, because he was my serious number 2 contender for my fan pick for Mr. Fantastic, actually.
Really?
Yeah, that's still he could do the gray fairly easily. I think he could pull the team. He's got heart when he wants to, but yeah, he could pull off Dr. Doom very well too.
I think he could do menacing very well.
He could, yeah.
And that's what Dr.
House
Doom
can be a real dick.
Yeah.
So
for my director, because like as you said, we want to do an action-packed movie.
the dad
But
Stuart
what's-
Little, really.
but obviously-
Stick it to him.
And that's the thing is like we need special effects. We need practical effects. And one man that can do that is Edge of Tomorrow. The director is Douglas
Oh, yeah.
Lineman. I think that he would be
Have you seen the behind the scenes on that guy? Oh man, it's weird to me.
Why?
Like, you just gotta watch it. If you didn't, well, go watch the Edge of Tomorrow behind the scenes documentaries. He seems like a nice dude, and seems like he's very conducive to the team. But he also seems very like just out there. Like he just looks like he's wandering around like with no clue, but he gets it done.
Hey, he makes good movies.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's all.
There's a really funny thing that most of the supporting actors in Edge of Tomorrow apparently were like, oh man, he's so busy all the time. Like, we're hoping sometime he can come talk to us about our script. I can't wait to, like meet him and see what he has in mind for my character and discuss it with him, kind of see what he wants me to do. One of the actors said they finally ran across him, and he was just in a room with his personal tennis coach on set, just playing tennis. They're all like, "Oh man, he's too busy, and he's just playing tennis." And then he said he's just playing tennis because Tom Cruise is just trying to keep the energy up so much. He was like, "This is my way to try and keep up with Tom Cruise. When Tom's running, I'll be playing tennis."
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it was funny.
Also, I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch and Hugh Laurie would be a really interesting dynamic.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
yeah. So and that's what I thought is like these actors they would actually take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I think that where their careers are, they would actually do it. So I think that would be pretty cool.
How long would you see them being able to do that for though? Like
3 movies, just
Okay.
3 quick. Marvel kicks them out.
Yeah.
Come on, guys! Like they can kick out a trilogy in 5 years.
They kick out the characters, but Marvel has such a long canon. After 3 years, they just go, "Oh, all these characters are gone now. We don't need them in our universe anymore."
But that's
So they
why I
try
make
and pass
no.
the
But that's why I
torch.
have their kids in it, because their kids are going to be the future of Phase 4 and Phase 5.
Maybe.
Because that's the thing is that people know these characters already.
Mhm.
So we don't need. What they want is something new, but they also want something that they're used to.
Kind of like Tom Holland.
Yes. So that's why we have them as older, but we have to introduce their kids as something fresh, and we can tease their potential with having Franklin Richards coming back. But that's from the comic. That's not my idea. That's from the comic.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think that comic is amazing. My friend gave it to me.
I'll
He
give
was
it a
like-
shot.
My friend gave it to me.
Show
Yeah.
it to me.
And we were arguing. I was like,
What's
yeah, right. I was like, well, man, I just haven't read really anything that's just like was awe-inspiring. He's like, okay, here, read this. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And so I'm like, there are good Marvel comics, but DC is superior. But there are good Marvel
your
comics.
opinion.
No, it's a fact.
In your opinion.
No, in the cells, it's a fact.
Okay, so
in
DC
your
comics
opinion.
somewhere.
this is branching off a little bit, but we were discussing RDJ before we started actually recording and everything, or maybe while we were recording, who knows. But who do we think is going to be the next character who lasts for 10 years in this next phase of movies, or who do you think is going to be that longevity person? I mean, obviously,
Like leader of the group, you mean, or just which
like-
actor's going to be around in Marvel?
Like
for a long
RDJ's been
time?
around for the last 10 years, from Iron Man 1 forward.
Yeah.
Obviously Chris Evans is kind of getting up there as well, but I'm sure he's 1 or 2 more movies and he's probably out. But
Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland should be an easy one. I think
He's the future.
he's
of
the
franchise.
youngest, and he's
Everyone
got
loves
a lot
him.
of heart.
Everybody loves. He has a good following. He has a good fan base, and that's what's important because that's what Robert Downey Jr. has.
yeah.
And Falcon. I'm really curious.
What do you think?
Speaking of,
What do you think though?
I don't know. I mean, I think Spider-Man as well, of course. Tom Holland, but yeah, I don't know.
it's easy. I would think T'Challa should
Yeah.
be around for a while. He's just getting started,
The
really.
King of Wakanda.
I see.
Wakanda forever, guys.
Yeah, I see those movies going like 1 or 2 more, and
Yeah, but you don't think he'll stick around? You think just he'll have a couple more movies and be done?
yeah, because to
Jackie
me, he
Robinson
doesn't
too.
he doesn't seem like that type of actor. He seems like he kind of get tired of it, and then
Yeah.
want to kind of go do on.
He
something
seems like a
else.
serious actor. Well,
Like-
not that the other actors aren't serious, but
Yeah.
he seems like he has.
He's
He's
kind of
a
like
little
Daniel,
older
he's kind of like
goals in
Daniel
mind.
Craig. Like he's like,
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of playing 007. I want to do. He has an artistic bug. I feel like that he would rather do something else than do the same thing for forever.
And he's a little older too, so I mean, you kind of get up there in age. It's kind of hard to keep your body crazy in shape. So
Chris Pratt could stick around for a while,
Yeah.
perhaps. He's definitely got a lot of fan love. He's doing a lot, though. He's a
He's
busy
doing
dude.
a whole lot of movies.
mm-hmm.
But honestly, I feel like Avengers ruined his character for longevity.
No.
I
You were real passionate about that.
I'm telling you, let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about it. You guys obviously know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that was his fault? That they
let's
fucked up?
speak it out for listeners who
Yeah.
might not know.
Well, I mean, it's
Well,
one of the most popular movies of all time. I feel
Guys,
let's say spoiler
spoilers
alert.
in general. Fast forward a minute or two. Whatever. when he tells everybody else to play it cool, but then when
He does not play
after
it
he
cool.
does not play it cool.
No, all because if he would have
Man, just
waited
about had that
literally
glove off.
1 second, everything that he was doing would have actually affected him.
Then he
All the
could've bitch
punches,
slapped him.
all the punches he was doing, he could have killed him, snapped his neck, he could have done whatever he wanted if he waited 1 second.
Hey, to put
He's a
if
piece
you
of
really
shit.
want
No.
to speak Marvel, put shit in perspective. Doctor Strange already saw the future, and this is the only future that succeeds.
Exactly.
So be mad at him if you want, but the events that he's leading to are the only ones that save the universe.
It's all bullshit.
That,
No, I'm just
not
saying
according
that.
to Doctor Strange's future.
No, I'm not saying that he's okay.
Come on.
I'm saying that his character does not have longevity anymore because of that moment. I understand why it happened in the movie because Doctor Strange saw it so he can stop it. But I'm saying as a character, I don't see him being in Guardians of the Galaxy 15 or being in Avengers 3.
If
I
they
see
make
Tom-
the Guardians of the Galaxy 15,
but you
I'll be 86.
but that's basically what I'm
they'll
saying.
be singing today's songs.
Guardians of the Galaxy will probably move on to some of the other Guardians characters at some point.
Right, but then that's what I'm saying is like his character, Peter Quill, doesn't have longevity.
Peter Cool? That's way better than Peter Quill. His last name's, you sound like you said Cool, not Quill.
Oh, my bad. I didn't think I said that.
Anyways, hey, I want to circle back to something. You said Jennifer Garner would be your Invisible Woman? I cannot think of Jennifer Garner without thinking of Dude, Where's My Car? It's just where my brain goes every single time. It's like, just
Isn't that for almost every actor though?
every actor you think of
It's
of
like-
Dude, Where's My Car?
There's like, hey, there's that one moment, there's that actor. Oh, I
Yeah,
think
I know.
about them and doing that.
Well, I was just thinking the fact that she's already a Marvel character too. So
Like,
she,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
So both of us have had.
Not in the
Character.
existing MCU
True,
universe.
true.
That's not part of the new.
Yeah. Well, then also sticking with Marvel, it seems quite likely that she would be recast as another Marvel. Like, let's do it again, but redeem it. You're already
That'd be
kind
kind of fun too for like Ben Affleck, like hey, you were Batman and Daredevil. She's got to get her second character in too.
Yep. But wait, she's actually going to be successful.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have an answer now? You have a team?
Oh no, I was just carrying on with you guys' conversation about young actors, who's gonna lead, and
Yeah.
I was going
We got-
through the whole Avengers list, and I was like, golly, everybody's old. But like the only one that really sticks out to me that could possibly go on and do a few more movies with Tom is Scarlet Witch.
Oh,
You think so? She
Elizabeth
can do
Olsen.
that?
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen.
She hasn't been as prominent as she needs to be yet, I don't think.
But I think she's gotten more used to her powers. She's able to
Mm-hmm.
control it better and use it a lot more. She's stronger. And I think just like Spider-Man, he's got to learn as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
She's like
that's
30?
the only...
I feel like she's still pretty young.
Man, I got some
Elizabeth
shit
Olsen.
to add to these talks. So, first question. First question I have here. Talking about who's going to keep going.
Mhm.
Do you think if Chris Evans is bowing out at some point soon, who do you think is taking over Cap? If they decide to have Cap take over, comics had both Falcon take over Cap,
And Winter Soldier.
and they had
Mhm.
Winter Soldier, the White Wolf,
Yes.
become Cap. Who do you think they'd pass it to first? Or do you think Cap would just do the new comic version of Chris Evans will come back and hail Hydra surprisingly the whole time?
I feel like they're gonna do. It's gonna be like a plot twist. It's gonna be like you're gonna see Cap like on to the left, and it's gonna be like so he's fighting or whatever happens, and then you're gonna see Cap to the right, and be like, what's happening? And both characters are gonna be Captain America,
Wait, what do you mean?
like Falcon and.
Oh, just like
Yeah.
they'll pass the
Yeah.
shield back and forth
Yeah.
and then go fight?
Like-
Or they're gonna make a new shield, and both of them are gonna just carry the mantle.
That'd be cool.
How about you guys clarify to me and possibly the audience out there, whoever you are.
A moment of silence for our
In the
audience.
comments, so Captain America goes dark, right?
In the newest run.
Well, he dies. First he dies, and then someone else becomes
Again,
Captain
spoiler
America.
alert.
And then in the new run,
1995.
Captain America is
Yeah, he's secretly been a part of Hydra the whole time in the new run.
Right.
Not a fan favorite.
Yeah,
for a lot of
that,
people
that's
by
what
any
I'm.
means.
just-
But after Cap dies, actually, I think
in Civil War.
in the movies in Civil War, I think
in the comics.
mhm.
Civil War.
I think he actually was supposed to have died if it had followed the comics. That Sebastian Stan's White Wolf, Winter Soldier character was supposed to have killed him, and then through like his brainwash crap,
Mm.
and then carried on as like an apology for his brother or something, or for his friend. and kind of assume the mantle afterwards. So.
Yeah.
What do you think, Will?
You already know my answer.
Batman?
Always Batman.
It's always Batman.
Always Batman.
But nah, Falcon. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that he's ready, man. He's ready. It's in the comics. I mean, he has the charisma, but we
You're
all
like
know,
Anthony Mackie.
huh?
You're just like Anthony Mackie.
But that's
I like
Cut
Anthony
the
Mackie.
check.
but that's my thing, though. We already know it's gonna be Sebastian Stan, but
Yeah.
and also it would just
Say
be,
both
it would be
of us,
great
you
just to kind of see. I hate to say it, but a little more diversity. Like just
Yeah, for sure.
that's not just all black people all in one movie. We can't just all be in one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Spread us around a little bit because you know what, the world spread around. So
But he's
It
not
was-
super strong.
Huh?
Or he's not super fast.
he's very skilled. He's tactical. He's all up here, and that's what's great about him. He would be a hero of the people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it would be even more impressive everything he does because he doesn't have all those powers.
And he uses Falcon suit as well as like.
So he's like the
That's-
Marvel day of Batman.
Nah, I wouldn't say
Yeah, I
that.
wouldn't
Because
say
Batman,
that, yeah.
which
No,
is
because he's
rich.
not like a detective or anything like that. He's not. He's
So
not
he's
that.
not-
Said
he's
he's
Moon Knight.
tactical, so
He's tactical, but he's not. Tactical
he's
and
more like-
intelligence are two different things.
He's more like the new movie Vulture or something like that, in that sense. Using the technology in his suit.
Yeah.
But not evil.
It would just be like.
That's what they've been going for a
Mm.
while, and their friendship would make it
Do you
probably
think,
more emotionally meaningful.
What was your other questions?
Shit, man, I don't know. I forgot now. We went off on other tangents.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we also lost Just Danny.
We lost Danny, guys.
Yeah.
He's gone forever.
Good old. Good
Until
old,
maybe next time.
good old Just Danny.
No good old Justin. He might be back. I don't know.
So that we do. One person leaves the room. You guys just talk about him.
Yeah.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like? Good old Will.
Good old Wills. Now it's just.
A piece of shit.
Now it's just.
Now the
the
am.
show's changed to. Ma'am. Matt and Marcus. Ma'am.
So a little background about our show, guys. So basically, the genesis was Will and Matt and Marcus, and we were discussing doing a podcast. How we came up with the name WAMM, WAMM. Yeah, it's just
Little
it's
Matt,
really-
little Marcus.
Yeah,
And we have to say thank you to Zine.
yeah. Thank you.
Yes, helping us with our recordings and
And
with
he
the song
wrote-
you'll probably hear in a finished clip, but we didn't hear it in the room at least.
And he wrote the theme song. And it's.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I don't care. I'm saying
I
it
just
again.
want to say it again.
Hey, I don't know if you guys know, but he wrote the theme.
Did he?
Guys, did you guys hear about this theme he's writing?
Who?
Zine.
Zine?
Yeah, he wrote a theme. Did you hear about it?
I actually kind of like that rhyme. Zine wrote the theme. You know.
Zine wrote the theme.
Guys, Dragon's back. Oh, damn.
Just Danny is back, y'all. Just
Just-
Danny is
Just
back.
Danny.
just Danny, that's all.
So let's pivot real quick to
Yep.
a different subject.
Pivot.
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 And I'm probably you guys don't even know what this is. So, but Urban Meyer. Do you guys know about that?
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
I know about Oscar Mayer.
Ooh, that's good for you.
That's about it, though. No. Enlighten me.
Ohio coach.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ohio
yes.
coach, and people are saying like he mishandled the situation. Basically, he had a football player, I believe,
Coach. It was an assistant coach, yeah.
assistant coach that was abusing his wife, and I guess he didn't report it correctly, and so when he had apologized, it was really lackadaisical. I don't know if you guys. I know you guys are kind of into football. So I don't know if you guys heard about it or had an opinion on
Yep.
it. Or,
Yeah, you snooze, you lose, man. I mean, report it.
yeah.
I hadn't heard about it till right now. News to me.
It's interesting because what their punishment was is that he can't coach for 3 games.
Yeah, he was suspended for the first.
He's suspended for the first 3 games of the season, and it's I don't know. I think that's weird. I think they should have like fired him for that because I don't know. Domestic abuse shouldn't be joked around or played around with.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's so prolific, which is a shame in
Mhm.
sports. You hear about it all the time. So I think like when anything that you catch that, I think that you should just smash it with a hammer and just throw it out the window.
Make it
No,
up to
no
you.
college you want to get rid of somebody who's, high profile.
Yeah.
So it's just like if he wasn't such a high profile, yeah, he might have been fired.
Yeah.
And but since he's so high profile, he brought attention to that college, that university, and was able to come out and upset all these big teams out there. Slap on the wrist,
Yeah.
Don't do it again,
Mhm.
okay? Where else?
Enlighten me a little bit more. Maybe I misunderstood you. So something happened inappropriate, and he just didn't report it correctly, or he didn't report. He tried to cover it up. What's happened here?
Supposedly, the assistant coach was abusing his wife, and he knew about it, and he didn't say anything. Or he didn't report it.
Oh.
He just supposedly...
Turned the other cheek.
Basically. He didn't want to be part of it, even though he was a part of it. And he should have stepped up as being a leader.
Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you. Call it out. I mean, you're going to call out your players for missing practice. You're going to call out your assistant coach for mishandling his wife.
Good use of miss twice.
Yeah.
What's crazy, though, and, like, unfortunate, is here in a year, we're not even going to discuss this anymore, you know? Mm-hmm. It's just like anything that kind of happens in sports.
There'll be some new shit like giant killer bees or something.
I think I'll tarnish his record just a little bit.
Maybe. You know.
But if he wins, like you said, like if he wins, because football is all about money and everything like that. And I mean, I love the sport, but like times like these is when I'm just like, I wish it was more about playing the game. You know, like there's, I guess the word honor. Yes, I know it's kind of corny, but.
I was using an NFL example, and I'm the biggest Tom Brady fan. Tom is my man.
I gave you
fantasy football.
Yeah.
Traded me. I traded Julio Jones away for Tom Brady because I mean that's.
If people could see me, I'm rolling my eyes.
I love Tom Brady, but like, Deflategate happened. The recording of the Dolphins back in 2004 or whatever happened, but Tom Brady keeps winning, and he has 5 rings, and it's like. At the end of the day, I don't feel like his legacy will be as diminished as maybe it could be or should be.
Yes.
People still talk about the Deflate game.
And, not as much.
Yeah, not as much.
Spyware?
Spygate.
I mean, he gets made fun of more about dropping that catch than cheating.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Something about like the
Super Bowl
the balls that weren't up to par.
Yep.
Yeah, it was actually against my team.
Yeah, it was against the Colts. Yeah,
it was against my team, the Colts. Man.
I mean, they still would have got blown out. Don't get me wrong.
But I don't even deny it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you guys were running the ball, so I don't understand why they were even crying because you weren't throwing the ball. So I stand by if you lose, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Suck it up, you lost.
Mm-hmm.
But the Colts were like, oh no. But
no matter what, people are gonna always try to find a way to say, well, he deflated the ball. That's your best one.
I just don't think in 10 years though that's gonna be nobody's gonna discuss that much about Tom Brady's career.
He's gonna go in the Hall of Fame. Like it's not gonna tarnish anything. He's gonna get his jacket. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
He's
just retired, goddammit.
He's never gonna retire. He's gonna probably be there when our kids are in.
I hope so.
What? He could pull Brett Favre and retire and then be like, I don't want to retire and come back out, play for another team for a few years. Until it gets awkward.
Only my man has been able to do it with 2 teams.
I think the biggest respect I have for Tom
man
Brady,
and the best quarterback of all time, guys.
The biggest respect I have about Tom Brady is he was the most out of shape QB when he was doing the right before they get into the NFL.
Oh, the combine?
Yeah, and he was just out of shape, couldn't run a 40-yard dash to save his life. I mean, but then somehow he becomes the greatest. He's like an average Joe for the American people. Vince Papali.
I mean, he was pretty good at Michigan. He just really had an awful combine, and he believed in himself and trained hard. And
I mean, you can't deny the talent. You can't deny the rings. I mean, it's there. The proof's in the pudding.
I believe in myself and I train hard, but no matter how much I try, I can't eat an entire pack of hot dogs in one sitting. I tried. It didn't work. I'm never gonna win a food eating contest. All right, guys. Did anybody bring other subjects to talk about?
Oh yeah,
I could talk all day.
I could too, but I gotta take off here in a few minutes. I gotta pick up my wife.
Just Danny just hates us, but it's fine.
I said that's sad and regrettable.
Nah, there's alcohol involved.
Can we also talk about out of the 4 men sitting at this table right now discussing? I'm the only one who's single.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What's wrong with you?
Again?
I mean,
I mean, he brought up the subject. I considered that to be fair.
So video games these days, guys. Played Injustice recently, man. That's
We'll put Matt on his corner.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and call this out. Video games will not find you that girl. Maybe.
Like an awful catfish story.
Shows up. It's like some dude named Earl. Hey, I'm Dana.
Just Danny.
Are you Gamer Girl 69?
Well, basically, that's what Ready Player One was.
Well, it's not entirely the story. If that's what you thought Ready Player One was, that wasn't the whole story. It wasn't just catfishing from a dude.
Did you see Ready Player One?
I need to watch it, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, spoilers, Will. You ruined it for all of the other people in the room.
I'll still watch it.
That aren't me.
You ruined it for and just
It's really not that big of a spoiler, and it's not what the movie's about. So
Not at all.
one of the characters is not what they seem.
One of these is
It's the main character. You see him as a dude, but secretly.
Oh.
You guys want to talk about a heavy subject?
What's his name?
What's his name?
Why you gotta take shots at me like that, man?
That's lying.
You know I'm working
Light
on
as
it.
a feather. I don't know how heavy. Go ahead.
It's not. I don't
Go
think
for
it's
it,
heavy.
guys.
I don't even think it's. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Betty Shelby. You know that name, right?
Oh, Betty Crocker.
Well, Betty Crocker's a lot nicer lady than Betty Shelby, but Betty Shelby was the officer that shot Terrence Crusher. She is now teaching a class here about dealing with incidents like that. But what's weird is that she dealt with it violently, which you would think that you would want someone to teach a class to deal with it non-violently.
Is she teaching?
Is she taking her own class?
She's teaching that class.
Is she teaching how to handle it violently, or does she regret handling it violently and is trying to teach alternate methods?
In the article that I read from the Tulsa World, it did not have quotations from her. They have not interviewed her. They literally just reported that she is going to be teaching a class in those incidents. There was no opinion. It was just stating the fact of what it was.
Well, it's obviously new information to me, so I don't have any real research on the subject, but my question would then be, did she regret how she handled it, and she's thinking if she had been trained differently that she may have had an alternate way to handle it, that maybe she's feeling if she was more prepared, she could have taught people differently? Or is she just going to go ahead and think that what she did was the right way to do it?
I feel like a situation like that, you're setting that person up for failure, whoever the officer is, you know? It's just like, why even put them in that situation?
It's weird to me because we're at, like, as a people, officer reform. I wouldn't say as America because this is a very opinionated, and I understand that there are both sides of this subject. So,
I think it just depends on the location.
yeah, I guess so. Because if you're in Boston, I bet you really don't like the police. If you're in Boston, I'm just saying, like.
Give me your cockies.
Your cockies? I don't want your khakis.
My safety word is kumquat.
I'm not a quaw.
What would you guys would you have, basically this is my question. If you were the person making the decision of placing her in that class, would you do that?
I personally wouldn't. Like I said, I think you're just setting that person up for failure, whoever the officer is. They obviously went through a very dramatic situation. It was obviously a very big ordeal that happened, which, thinking about what I just said a little bit ago, like, you notice a year later, we're not even really discussing that. You know what I mean? Like, there's not much.
Well, I mean,
Life's always moving forward, though.
Yeah.
Not to say it's not relevant, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
always
if I was
something
her,
more currently relevant.
I would not sweep it under the rug, but I would lay low. I mean, thankfully Tulsa did not erupt in violence and riots and all that.
Yeah.
I live downtown, and I've heard a neighbor across the street say, "Hey, make sure your doors are locked tonight because there might be a riot." And I said, "Nah, not Tulsa. We're a little bit more mature than that."
There was already the Tulsa riots in 1920 when they burned
Yeah,
down
we
black
had enough
people.
riots a
Like,
long
they-
time
no
ago.
Black Wall
Lance.
Street.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
We're
saying.
set for a while.
Wait,
Yeah.
yeah, keep going, man.
Well, I was just gonna say, why are you trying to teach a class even though half the Tulsa believe that what you did was wrong? I'll just stay low.
Well, and she's just teaching a class right
Right.
now, so.
Well, on the alternate side, I'm just to play devil's advocate. I don't have any strong feelings on the subject at the moment, but if that officer was going to still be an officer,
She is.
exactly. But I'm saying, would you really want her on the street, face to face with people, like that? That may cause more potential drama for people who are aware of what happened.
But
At least keeping her in an office would keep her out of the public's face.
put her in a records room.
That's whatever. It's fine.
Put her at a desk. But, like, why put her in a training mode? I guess experience, like you pointed out earlier, like, she can learn from that experience and say, hey, guys, I mishandled the situation. Like, we don't know what she's thinking because we aren't talking to her. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put her in that position because it's...
I feel like there's gonna be a video that said, "This is what you don't do," and point at her.
And that's the thing. It's like, why would you have someone who inadequately did something teach on that subject? It's like it's like you failed math, but then you're gonna go tutor kids on math. That doesn't make any sense. You failed math.
True.
To be fair, they also say that people learn by teaching, so maybe
Well, if you can't
Maybe
do
it's an
teach,
effort
well.
to make her learn by having to teach the subject. Just throwing out potential options. I don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate. Just
No, I understand, and that's.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree with you definitely.
No, you
I'm
have
just,
a valid
I'm
viewpoint.
trying to just put the whole umbrella in the spectrum.
And like I said, we
So
don't
much
know
what
what
if.
she's thinking. We don't know what she's thinking. She could totally be remorseful and feel sad about it, but it wasn't just her firing either. But
That was heavy, Will. That was way too
That
heavy.
was heavy.
you guys want to keep talking about
That
politics?
was heavier than the thing.
Beat me to it. No,
Oh,
I gotta
man.
get out. Okay, just Danny checking out.
Just Danny signing off. All right, guys.
Just dead.
Be ready to talk about him. Listeners, tell us what you think of Just Danny. Should we have him back or not?
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag Just Danny. Wham.
Was
Take
that
care,
our,
buddy.
was that our
Thanks
first
for the
guest?
Yeah, take care, buddy.
This is like our first guest
This is like
on
our
the
first
first
guest.
episode of the
Guest
the
in
podcast.
episode 1. There you
Yeah.
go. Don't even know if it counts as a real episode. We don't have much of a format, but I like it.
Too.
What else is going on in life? Let's just talk life.
I-
What's,
Oh, okay. Just like our lives?
yeah,
Or?
yeah, just
I'm having a kid in 11 days. I'm just saying, I'm having boy number 2. I'm naming him Talon because that name is sexy. I have.
because all your children need to be named after Batman.
Batman
Yep.
Traders.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, DC
Bruce
is
and
superior.
Talon, brothers for those who are unprepared.
They are.
They're going to form a court of owls and overthrow you.
They're gonna run this city. I'm just saying, it needs a change.
They'll run this town.
Someone's got to change it.
The underground of Tulsa.
I mean, someone.
He
gotta
doesn't have a lot of
actually
tall
finish the
buildings to
construction.
hide on
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It would just be Batman like running on sidewalks. Like,
Hey, that's still cool. That would be inspiring, man.
One-story buildings. Just
you ever notice Spider-Man is never in like Iowa? Like, so no, just like cornfields he's running through. Nothing ever.
That's
happens.
where Superman is.
In
He's
those
in
sorts of
Kansas.
yeah, he's there when he visits his mom because no action really. He flies, so he doesn't need.
he probably doesn't like to
Buildings
get that high up
and
in the air to see
environment.
kind of like the whole state.
Yeah,
But
well that's neat.
Okay.
um,
What's your life, man?
just started a new job, leasing and marketing manager at an apartment complex. Loving it. Just had our move-in day. And this week we did a lot of welcome week events for all the students that live on our property, basically.
We already caught recently that he's recently single,
Yes.
ladies, and possibly fellas. I don't judge.
Just the ladies. But,
Just I will.
He's a
my
beautiful
shopping
chocolate
cart-
man. For
my
those
shopping
who
cart,
don't have the eyes.
Just ladies.
just ladies.
Just ladies. We got Just Danny and Just
Episode 2,
ladies.
just ladies.
Episode 2. Y'all need Jesus.
Watched Mulan the other day. That was, pretty fun.
Nice.
Are you guys hyped for the new remake that Disney's doing?
Yes. I wish I was Asian so I could put in an audition.
For Mulan?
Yeah. Could I be Mushu?
Who's gonna be
I
Mushu?
am. You know what?
I don't think Mushu's in it.
I did one of those DNA tests. I'm 2% Asian. So maybe Disney. What up?
Got any black in you?
No.
You want some?
I thought we said just ladies.
Oh.
Well, I brought a subject I'm passionate about.
Okay.
So Lord of the Rings. I know Matt, super excited,
It's about to
right?
just be WAM.
It's alright.
Trust me, I'm excited.
Still sounds like Wham. Lord of the Rings. Did you know it's been 14 years since the original trilogy ended? 14. I feel like an old man. It's gonna be 15 soon. In December? I'll see how it is.
Just taking a little tinkle break.
All right. Well, we're gonna bitch talk the shit out of you. I'll pause. I'll just wait for you to come back.
3 years later.
All right. Well, did you know it's been 14
No,
years since
no.
they ended? Yeah, that was crazy to me. When I was looking it up, I was like, damn, I didn't feel like it was that old. I remember being in theaters when it came out. I was like, stoked,
Kid,
man.
Hey, that was actually the very first PG-13 movie I saw was Fellowship of the Ring.
Really?
In theaters.
Well, this is. I was talking about Return of the King, but Fellowship, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I
That's
missed
how long ago.
Fellowship in the theater.
Really?
I believe. Yes, and it makes me sad. They should do it again.
Yes, absolutely.
And I Am Me or something. Anyways, the Tolkien estate partnered with Amazon and are coming out with a prequel series
Oh yes.
to Lord of the Rings, which I am stoked about. They did. They put a bid out. Amazon is hungry for it for sure. Amazon spent $250 million to buy the rights for 5 seasons. So
5 seasons. So
Five
they already
seasons.
have 5 seasons in
they
works.
bought the rights to do 5 seasons. That's what that money bought.
How long
them.
ago did that happen?
This happened like News-wise, it came out like a month or two ago, to my knowledge. I don't know when the official sale started or anything like that, but it was officially announced that Amazon
that's going to be
got the
a good story because they can have a 5-season story idea.
They can
so
do
it's going to
seasons. It could be more, but the
Yeah.
current contract is for up to 5 seasons.
It's good.
They also have I've heard plans of potential spin-off series at some point. They did say it'll be set in the Peter Jackson Tolkien world. It will not be its own thing, and they're not redoing anything that's happened in the movies. They are just going to be doing a prequel of the existing canon, set somewhere between The Hobbit and Fellowship. First season, they said, is supposed to star young Aragorn, primarily, and his upbringing. Yep. Future seasons may follow other characters' upbringings or stories, but they'll follow him primarily.
Once I heard Aragorn, I'm there, man.
I know, Mr. Viggo Mortensen for Fantastic
Hey,
Four.
I love the man. What can I say?
Yeah, there you go. I doubt they're getting Viggo with some.
Oh, I know.
With some.
Hey, they could do
makeup,
some
but
fast forward.
they're still looking for casting,
Yeah.
so they have not cast yet. However, they did get J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay as hired as the writers. They have not really come out with much yet, but if you were to look them up, they have a lot on their upcoming docket. Apparently they're hired because there were specifically gentlemen who specialize, their co-writing team, and they specialize in writing stories that have existing canon. So rather than setting up their own series, they supposedly are good at paying attention to whatever existed previously and adding to it. They had a hand in Star Trek Beyond.
Didn't Scotty write that movie?
Yep, they had a hand in it. That's why I said a hand. They helped co-write. They did write the upcoming Kong vs. Godzilla. It's coming out, I think, next
That trailer
year.
looks good.
They wrote that.
Millie Bobby Brown.
So we'll find out soon whether or not we appreciate their writing talents. They're also docketed for the probably never coming out Star Trek sequel, the next Star Trek movie.
Yeah, because Chris Pine
But it seems
walked
like
away, right?
it seems like Chris Pine walked away, so it's in limbo haven. But they also are currently credited on IMDb for an upcoming Flash Gordon movie, which makes me excited because
That would be fantastic.
Flash. Anyways, Amazon has a $1 billion production budget for this
It's
TV
gonna be
series,
so good.
which
They're trying to get their Game of Thrones going, man.
yeah, they want to be the next Game of Thrones, I believe, and everything is there. So as long as they do it respectfully, I think they have a solid foundation for it for sure.
What would you like to see in it?
I would like to see anything, man. I just love the world. Whatever's cool with me, just as long as they're doing it justice.
I mean, you even like the Hobbit movies, so...
I'd love to see more, in a backstory, it probably wouldn't be part of young Aragorn, but I'd love to see more flashbacks with Sauron. Sauron was in the movies. Yeah, I mean, he was the Eye, technically, but beyond that, there wasn't much for Sauron in there. So I'd love to see them expand on him at some point. And I'd love to see a couple of the original movie characters come back. I'd like to see Gandalf come back, or
As
something
Ian
like
McKellen
that.
or young
As
Gandalf?
Ian McKellen. I'd like to see some of the original actors make at least cameos. Something like that would be great. He's one who is fairly timeless to the role, so he could easily. Outside of that, they are in talks with Peter Jackson. He has not confirmed anything, but they've given him an open line, is what they report, on getting him with as much interest as he'd like to do. If nothing else, they'd hope he'd at least consult, is what they're saying. What I've read, anyways.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to get a producer credit. I mean, that's $1 billion show. He's gonna want some of that money.
If he could, just get producer or consultant without having to do the work. Just say, giving ideas on what he originally thought, something like that, and giving him some of the just.
Plus, it's gonna be a draw just to slap his name on
something
it.
like that. Yeah,
it'll be a draw.
And it would add to people, and they're planning on filming in New Zealand, as I understand it. Which where
Beautiful.
else?
Yep.
Where else can you film if you're doing Middle Earth? That's where it's set up. That's about all I know so far. That's news as of 2 days ago. That's the most recent update I've been able to find. So,
gonna be good.
There's one piece to add to that. Amazon's contract with the Tolkien estate has to start production by 2020, or the contract is null and void. Which means, chronologically, based on contract, the very latest we should see this show coming out is 2021. But people report, at least from what I found, that they would like to get it out earlier than that. But they want to do it justice. So
I think they should take their
they'll
time.
take their time if they need to.
Yeah.
They want to do it right. So I'd rather have them wait till 2021 if they have to do it right than have them rush it out just to rush it out.
And to those points, Amazon is handling, like you said, respect the canon. Star Wars ain't doing it.
I don't agree on this subject, but I was one of a few people in my friends anyways, who actually liked the new Star Wars movie. And I know even Mark Hamill had issues with it, so that makes it hard, especially for me, or for other fans anyways, to get on board with my opinion. But I get it. I like different. I've had conversations with you before. I prefer things to always be changing, but some people don't feel that way. Some people would like more of the same.
It wasn't
Which is
change
cool.
or the same. It was just bad writing. It was just a bad movie.
And I disagree. I think it was change for change. I think it sets up a different world, different environment.
Yeah.
I got tired of seeing, not tired, I liked it, but I didn't prefer to see a rehash of taking down the Death Star. I would have preferred something more original. I liked that it set itself apart in a new series, even if it did things that were against the grain on what we want the characters to do or how we feel the characters should act. I can definitely understand there are maybe different ways that could have been handled, but I like that it's unique. I like that it's different from the world that's been previously established.
Did you like Solo?
I liked it as a blockbuster popcorn flick. It didn't feel fulfilling to me on like an emotional level to add a bunch to the story. I liked watching it. I'll buy it definitely. I enjoyed it. I'll rewatch it, but I don't feel it's never going to be on my top list of anything. It's just a good filler movie.
What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Before I answer that, would you buy it on DVD or Blu-ray or 4K?
4K.
Okay.
And I buy everything on 4K if it comes out. Which, by the way, sidebar, Modern Family and that whole network needs to get their shit together. They should at least be on Blu-ray. Because this DVD bullshit is a thing of the past. You might as well be releasing
VHS.
VHS tapes for me. Come on. Like, I realize it might be more expensive to generate those discs, but damn.
Modern Family is a great show.
I know. It's right here behind me on DVD. Star Trek, though. Go ahead. What's yours? What's your favorite?
Star
Star
Trek.
Wars.
Wars. Like,
Whichever. Give me both. I'm cool.
Star Wars.
I don't remember one called Pa 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 Pa
Yeah,
Pa.
yeah, I know.
It was the Halloween special, not the Christmas special.
I like the direct-to-TV Ewok movie, which is a thing, by the way.
It is. It is.
It's the Christmas
I
special.
haven't found it. I found it online, but I haven't seen it.
What
I know
was?
it's a thing.
I'm awful, and I'm sorry. What was the first new one that came out? Like this current?
Phantom Menace?
No. Like the
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Thank you.
Nope. Matt's favorite is Phantom Menace. It's out. I understand.
It's probably either that one or like. It might even be Attack of the Clones.
Force Awakens really is
Yeah.
probably one of your favorites.
Oh, here's why. Though.
It's badass. I don't.
There's background with it, with everything in life. So there are certain movies I just remember like going to see with my dad, and that's like me and my dad have a really good relationship, and that's one of those like movies we were both like excited for, and he was like, "You had to come home and come see it with me," and I'm like, "Yeah," and so
Yeah, it's
you know.
and that's the thing. That's what Star Wars is. It's very, it has meaning to everybody, and that's why it's awesome. That's why it's a great franchise.
You know, I hadn't really considered it before, and I understand it's probably part of why Disney bought the rights to begin with. But this round of movies is technically appealing to a third generation. The first was what everyone knows as the originals. And then when Phantom Menace came out, that was around when we were all kids pulling us into... I had heard of Star Wars, but I had never seen any of them before Phantom Menace, which made me love it. I was like...
They came out with like 01.
I was young.
Yeah.
Like 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, I was young in 01. I remember seeing it. Like, I enjoyed it because I was a kid.
Yeah.
As an adult, going back, I'm like, oh, it hurts a little bit, but it brought me into the series. And these new movies are a new round of things for sure. Bringing in new kids, introducing them, then I go back and see the originals.
Phantom Menace is actually 99. It's a
99?
pre-2000 movie.
Dang. How old were you in 99?
I was 7 years old in 1999.
Oh man.
I was in second grade.
You guys? Oh yeah, I guess you guys are the same age.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the old one in the room then, but
That's all right.
not by that much. I was 11
Okay.
in 91.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our sound guy was 12. Pretty sure we went together.
Zine
I
with the
believe.
Theme was
Yeah.
12 years old.
Ding.
Zine. Theme zine.
theme scene.
Things that TZ.
But yeah, those are probably my favorite two, just for that reason alone. Just spending time with my dad. Just like all the superhero movies. You know, just watching those with my dad too. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
What about you, Willie?
Cliche, of course, Empire Strikes Back, one of the best movies, but like, I remember it because I felt like I was an adult because I could watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was epic to me. I remember, I Am Her Father. I was one of those younger kids that was able to watch it and just be in awe of how amazing it was. Like, it really did blow my mind. It really did.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. I mean, I think also it's the emotional draw between father and son. That acting, that power there. It wasn't special effects heavy. Like, it wasn't action packed, but the fights were emotional. You know what I mean? Like, it meant something.
Mm-hmm.
There was emotion behind those fights.
Yeah.
And that's what's so beautiful about it.
Empire Strikes Back was my favorite. I like my man getting frozen in carbonite.
I like the
I like Cloud City.
cutting open that thing and putting Luke in there. I mean, it was.
So did you guys watch the original ones first, or did you guys see like the newer movies and then you watched the originals, or
originals and then the prequels and then.
Okay.
I technically watched Phantom Menace first.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went back and watched the originals.
Okay.
Then I saw the rest as they came out.
I didn't watch the originals until I was probably like a teenager, and I appreciated it so much more, I think, than I would have as like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I mean, you definitely catch a
little
lot
bit more
more.
down.
You definitely understand a lot more and catch a lot more.
Which, by the way, they need to add Blu-ray or 4K edition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care which at this point, of the original movies. I don't want the George Lucas added CG effects. I would prefer the original flat effects.
Yeah.
Do you know how far we are from like a zero ending date for those, like 40 years, 50 years, or whatever? Because I feel like that's probably going to be when they drop all those in like a Blu-ray or 4K.
I've heard online, which you can't trust everything on the internet.
You
But
can't?
I heard online that that they are in the works of making 4K versions. Whether or not they're the added CG effect versions or the original versions remains to be seen. It would be lucrative for them to update them at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
People would buy them. It's like, I love the Alien movies. Pretty much any time they release a new edition of Alien, I'm like, I want to buy that one now. I want that one. So, yeah, there's definitely a fan base for them to do that with, for sure.
Okay, so episode 4 actually, A New Hope just celebrated 50 years last year. 40 years? 77?
Really?
40 years?
Dang.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So.
Speaking of anniversaries, Bond 25. Have you heard about that? Daniel Craig signed on. He's going to do another one.
Yeah, I did know that he would be doing another one. I saw... I'm a big fan of watching behind the scenes on movies. I finished the movie and then I'm like, let me rewatch it with special features.
Commentary by the director. Commentary
And
by the person who swept the floors.
Yeah, by the mop janitor.
Daniel Craig said hello to me one time.
That was a scene where he spilt his coffee.
He repeats that for 38 seconds. Anyways, even in the behind the scenes in the most recent movie, one of the special features, he said, I always say I'm done because it's so grueling and exhausting to do, but as soon as it's over, and like a couple months pass, I regain my energy. It's like something I missed. Like, you want to come back to it.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of work, which is how quite a few people, as I understand it, feel about any sort of grueling movie like that. Then I think it's exhausting. Like, that's why Peter Jackson came back for the Hobbit movies, whether you like them or not. He said Lord of the Rings was so grueling and exhausting, he's done. Once some time had passed, he was ready to do it again.
Hobbit movies are balls.
I will take your James
Sexy
Bond's
balls.
25-year anniversary and raise you a Power Rangers 25-year anniversary.
Sequel's coming out.
That episode of 25 years comes out
Insert
in like a week.
sound horn here.
August 28th. They're bringing back some of the past legends. Of course, JDF will be in that episode as well.
My son Bruce is obsessed with the Power Rangers.
Which version, though?
All of them.
Turbo, Dinosaur.
Yeah. It makes me so happy.
Samurai.
All of them. It doesn't matter. If it's a Power Ranger, he's pumped.
That is literally, I think, my favorite part about your son is that he's a big Power Ranger fan, and I can nerd out with this kid and give him all of my old toys and be like, I'm passing on a next generation. Whoa. Not all the toys,
You can give me some of those toys if you want.
Passing on to me.
Right. Pass them on over here. Yeah, we just Will and I went to a store actually just yesterday. Yesterday, it was a vintage toy store, and they actually had a life-size replica of the Red Ranger, the new Red Ranger helmet that you get and wear, and they also had a life-size replica of the original Red Ranger sword.
The real question
which is hard to come by. You can get Green Ranger flute sword and the Saba sword, but you can't get Dragon Dagger if I'm trying to be specific to the series. But the Red Ranger sword is hard to come by, generally speaking.
I'm curious as to why we're recording this podcast right now and not at that vintage store, and I'm not spending all my money.
Let's go!
And
Back to action.
That would actually be a funny end. Alright, guys.
Well,
we should do some sort of official sign-off here or something.
It's been a great run. Thanks for the...
yeah, we're probably never gonna do this again. So
Have a good life, guys. Should we just say something like, so how should we end this?